Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, bringing you another Beat Matt Bat Rep.
We work so you can play. MiniWarGaming's Beat Matt Bat Rep.
This time, Dan has come over to challenge me to a game of Warhammer 40k, you guessed it. But this time, we're going to be playing Grey Knights versus Necrons. This has actually been rather largely requested. A lot of people have been asking for Grey Knights battle reports, but we just don't have anybody in the nearby vicinity who have a painted Grey Knight army. So luckily, Dan has obliged us. So you're going to be able to finally see that. So hopefully it's a good game, nice and close, lots of carnage, everybody dying on both sides, with somebody slimly coming out as the victor. Those are always the best kind of games.
Indeed.
This is going to be 2,000 points. We have not yet determined the scenario. We're going to roll for that, so you'll see that in just a moment. So let's take a look at the armies, and then we'll look at the scenario. We'll start by taking a look at Dan's Grey Knights. Remember, this is 2,000 points. And he decided to go with a somewhat mechanized list. Really, it's almost fully mechanized, except Dread Knights are some reason counted as monstrous creatures. We got Castling Crow as the HQ, and he also brings a Vindicare Assassin to hopefully snipe off one of my Ghost Arcs, which he's anticipating me bringing. And then we've got 3 squads of Grey Knights. We've got some force weapons, power weapons in there, and just some of their regular weapons. And they're embarked into 3 different Razorbacks. 2 of them have twin-linked glass cannons, and 1 with a twin-linked heavy bolter. Got a group of Grey Knight Terminators here, and they're embarking inside of a Land Raider Crusader. And we've got the 3 different walkers, although one of them is only a walker. It's a Dreadnought with the Dreadnought close combat weapon and a twin-linked glass cannon, and 2 Dread Knights, which for some reason are monstrous creatures and not walkers. It's just proof that Games Workshop agrees with me that vehicles should not have their own rules. But that's okay. So this is his 2,000 points right here. Moving on, we're going to take a look at my 2,000 points of Necrons. Now this is going to be typical of what you normally see, but it was a few hard decisions that I had to make because I'm kind of scared of Grey Knights because everybody says they're overpowered, but I have never really played against them. So I decided to bring an Overlord, and he's embarking in a Catacomb Command Barge. He's got the War Scythe, and he's actually got a 3+ invulnerable save. I gave him the Phase Shifter. And we got a group of Lich Guard here with another Overlord, and he's got a Harbinger of Destruction with him. I went with 2 Solar Pulses to try to negate him some of his shooting, and they've got their Dispersant Shields and their regular swords. And we got 3 groups of Warriors, and 2 of them are 9 and 1 of them's 8. And we have a Necron Lord and a Cryptek. And yes, they can go together in the same squad because there are 2 Overlords, so they are from different royal courts. And they're all embarked inside of Ghost Arcs, which I decided to do because I like Ghost Arcs. All the foot slogging armies for Necrons work perfectly fine too. Knowing that he's playing a Space Marine army of any sort, I knew there would be walkers and dedicated transports, and so of course I brought 3 groups of Scarab Swarms because they are awesome against vehicles. 3 groups of 4. So I'll split them up into as many groups as I can because I don't have any other fast attack choices at the moment. Not until the Rays and the Heavy Destroyers come out. So there is my 2,000 points. So for the scenario and for the deployment, we ended up rolling off and getting Annihilation, and we got Spearhead deployment, which is the table quarters, which I hate. It's probably my least favorite because it's hard to get good firing lanes and it's hard to set up your guys because you have a smaller front, which makes it a much more difficult game. And the dice that you see there, they're marking off the 12 inches from the center, and you have to basically deploy more than 12 inches from the center and your table quarter. Whoever gets to go first and deploys first chooses which quarter they have, and the opponent gets the other quarter. And as you can see, there's terrain in the middle here that's going to make it a little more difficult to maneuver around. What's really going to be difficult, though, is the Scarab Swarms. Normally I don't worry about keeping them alive because they are so fast, they're able to get across the board really quickly. But the Dread Knights, they have a pretty much a heavy flamer, a strength 6 flamer, but that's not really scary. What's scary is that it doesn't just shoot from the base, it actually shoots 12 inches from the base. So you measure 12 inches away, up to 12 inches away, and then you can put the flamer template down. And so the Scarab Swarms, they can hit Scarab Swarms up to 19 inches away. And it's strength 6, and it's a flamer, so it's going to ignore cover, so they're not going to get their 3+ cover save, and it's going to insta-kill them. So that's very difficult because normally with my Scarabs, I just kind of hug cover a little bit, and then I charge in and wreck 2 or 3 vehicles, and then I don't care what happens to them. And that's usually when they get hit by the regular flamers at close distance. But in this case, it's going to be much more difficult because, as you can see from his deployment, he's putting his Razorbacks and Land Raider behind his Dread Knights. And those are going to be more than 2 feet away, so there's no way I'm going to get to him in first turn. That's assuming he doesn't steal initiative, of course. And so that's going to make the first turn and the second turn very difficult for my Scarab Swarms. What I'm probably going to have to do is move them back and wait for him to come to me. But the difficult part of that strategy is that he's Grey Knights. He doesn't have to come to me. He's got twin-link glass cannons on 3 of his vehicles, and he's got heavy bolters, and he's got long-range weapons on his other guys too. So he's able to sit back where the Necrons cannot. Necrons are not a long-range army. They are a mid to short-range army. That's where they excel the most. He infiltrates his Vindicator Assassin on the other side, hoping to run over and snipe one of my Ghost Arcs. Will he steal initiative? Let's find out. He's got to roll a 6, of course. And if he steals initiative, that's like game over right away. Thankfully, he does not, because I had Scarab Swarms out in the open again. So we're heading into Necrons Turn 1. So as I said, Scarab Swarms move backwards. Once I learned more about his Dread Knights, I was like, oh shoot, they're out of here. And so I'm trying to get them as far back. Those ones only move sideways, so they might get sniped. Lich Guard move up as far as they can because they are my mobile cover. Moving up there with their 4+ invulnerable save, they can basically take hits from anything and survive it because, well, with a 4+ invulnerable and a 4+ reanimation protocol, they are hard to shoot down. You really have to overrun them in close combat with a horde to really take them down easily. We've got the shots from the side of the Ghost Arc fighting to the Vindicator Assassin. I've got 4 hits and 3 solid wounds, but he saves all 3 of those. Really need to kill this thing. The Cryptek then fires a Strength 8 weapon, which could insta-kill him, and of course misses. I don't think that Cryptek ever hits anything. The other Cryptek hits the Dread Knight, but of course fails to wound it. I just don't think Crypteks are useful for shooting, but they are good for their utility. And that is Necrons Turn 1. Grey Knights Turn 1, of course the Dread Knights move up, getting ready to muscle their way through the Necron forces. And then his Land Raider moves up to engage my one Overlord inside of the Command Barge. And so the Vindicator Assassin rolls and hits. He gets 46 armor penetration, gets a penetrating hit, and of course destroys the vehicle, explodes at the very first turn. It explodes out, hits 3 of the Scarab Swarms, but fails to do any damage, but is removed, replaces the crater, and the guys inside take strength 3 hits. Do take actually 4 wounds, but 2 of those are saved. So 2 of the Necrons go down, potentially, but we'll see if they get back up. And they pass their pinning test, no problem. Multi-Melta hits. I do get a cover save. He gets a penetrating hit, and I do not save it. And so that penetrating hit gets a +2 because it's open-topped and it's an AP1 weapon, and destroys the Command Barge. There is a crater there, but we decided just to forget about it, although we're going to still count it as difficult terrain. The Overlord inside does not take any damage. Dread Knight moves up. I realized my Scarab Swarms were not far enough away. He inflicts a major amount of damage. I do get the invulnerable saves from the Lich Guard, but 3 of them go down. I fail 3 out of 4 of those, and 3 of the swarms are insta-killed. Heavy Bolter goes into the Lich Guard as well, and he gets 3 hits. It is twin-linked, and manages 1 wound only, and I do fail that one as well. So as much as I say these guys are invulnerable, obviously that's only if you make your invulnerable saves. The shot from the twin-link glass cannon insta-kills the last Scarab Swarm. Morale test, these guys do not run. Out of the 4, 3 of them stand back up. That's 135 points added to my army right there. And they get to go out in front, which gives me a couple extra inches of movement from them. So that was nice, that although he killed 4 of them, 3 of them came back. One of the warriors comes back, giving us a total of 148 points. That has reanimated. So end of round 1. It's been eventful, but not very eventful at the same time. I got my Overlord who zipped over and then got multi-melted in the face. Luckily he's still alive to charge the Land Raider, but the Land Raider moved at cruising speed, which means it is going to be hard to hit. You can see the Vindicator Assassin did its job, knocked out one of the Ghost Arcs already. So I only have 2 Ghost Arcs left. Lich Guard are moving up the center with the Scarab Swarms behind them. And other than that, I haven't really been able to damage him at all, except 1 wound on the Dread Knight. Actually, no. Nope, no wound on the Dread Knight. That happens next turn. Anyways, click on the annotation if you're on YouTube to watch round 2, and don't forget to subscribe.